Hello race fans and welcome to round 4 of the Porsche Club of Great Britain Sim Racing Championship, live from Scotland's National Motorsports Centre, Knockhill Racing Circuit. My name is Peter Mackay, and joining me in the RaceSpotTV commentary box today is the distinguished gentleman that is Paul Smith. Paul, welcome.
Hi, welcome a lot. Yeah, I'm thoroughly going to enjoy this one. I commentated last time at my favourite track in the whole of the world, which is Alton Park. This time we head on up to your hunting ground, don't we? And yeah, get to enjoy the delights of Knockhill.
Oh, we're going to have some fun tonight. This is so cool to be here. My first ever broadcast on a virtual Knockhill. I've done it on the outdoor one. I'm now going to do it on the virtual one as well. Very excited. And I can see that you're sitting in a virtual Gary Stagg commentary tower right now. That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I just had to come and visit since this is your usual haunt. So yeah, get myself up here. But we're gonna see a tremendous evening, aren't we, of action out here. The Porsches and 992 GT3 Cup cars always produce great racing, and around this magnificent venue, it doesn't look like on paper that you can make many overtaking moves around here, but you'd be surprised. There's plenty of opportunities at this circuit.
There is, yes, there is indeed. Well, let's have a look at the calendar. We are already at the halfway point of the season, goodness me, in the season 5 of the Porsche Club of Great Britain. We kicked off in Donington about a month ago, followed by Brands Hatch Indy and Alton Park. And here we are at Knockhill in the Scottish hillsides. Fantastic. Then we head off to the much flatter plains of Snetterton and Norfolk in a couple of weeks' time. Then it's our way round, Road Atlanta, when we finish off on two, well, treasures of British motorsport, Silverstone and the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. And as always here in the Porsche Club of Great Britain Sim Racing Series, championships for Pro and AM class drivers. So let's have a look at the circuit then. I mean, well, near the town of Dunfermline in Scotland, 1.26 miles, huge elevation change, opened in 1974. And this year, Paul, celebrating 30 years of British touring car racing.
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolute classic venue for the British touring cars. And of course, the Porsche Carrera Cup Great Britain runs on the Toka package. So, yeah, get plenty of chance to see the Porsches racing. But certainly, it's a tremendous venue for action and drama as well. Who can forget, talking about the British Touring Car Championship, 1994, Gabriele Tarquini going for a couple of rolls on the exit of McIntyre, and the classic dulcet tones of Murray Walker on that commentary. So yeah, it's a track that evokes memories for me, although my favourite memory is 1992 in the British Touring Car Championship, John Cleland in his Vauxhall Cavalier asking where the hell the track was, it was that wet.
Well, that same year, 1992, this 30th anniversary year, when a certain Colin McRae got into a little bit of a tangle, shall we say, with Matt Neal. Let's have a look at the standings. Well, it's Austin Greatorex who leads the way by 18 points from Fordzilla's Will Chadwick. Then it's Johnny Elia sitting there in third, followed by James Cummings and Stephen Haley. Johnny Cullen sits back in 6th, but has podium pace. Then it's Mark Johnson, Christian Tsuruta, Stephen Kershaw, and Gary Toll. How do you look at the AM standings, Paul?
Well, let's bring them up on screen right now, because Stuart Clark leads the way, but not by much. Only 9 points over Luke Holroyd. Tom Slater not that far behind with Paul Goffin, who put on a good display last time out. Oliver Cowardline in 5th place, just 1 point back. Amrik Sashdev, I was impressed with some of his driving last time out. Alton Park, he's ahead of Chris Byram, somebody I've actually commentated on previously is Chris. Andrew Shepherd, Brian Crawford, and David Patching rounding out that top 10. But it's a really close one at the head of your field in your AM standings.
Certainly is. I mean, Luke Holroyd, the defending AM class champion, or former AM class champion, I should say, more accurately. So he'll be one to repeat that success for Team Porsche Sport. Just a minute left in this open practice session as Christian Tsuruta in the flying bogey, getting in the last couple of laps of practice as Austin Greatorex coming out of pit lane. And what a roller coaster ride this circuit is. Tsuruta comes into McIntyre's, then down the hill towards Butcher's right-hander. You can see the car getting loose there, then straight through the chicane. Hop, hop, skip, and a jump. Whoa, big oversteer as well. Up the hill towards Clark Curve. Blind entry there. You just want to put two wheels on the curb, avoid the sausage if you can. Oh, there you go. That's why you avoid it.
Yeah, and the sausage curbs are going to be a big talking point around this venue. You've got the one up at Duffer's Dip where if you hit that too hard, you get right up on two wheels and it pushes you wide as you go downhill. And these drivers are going to find this a challenge. The thing is, the laps are going to come thick and fast around here because it's only a short lap. I mean, you can see the practice times. Fastest lap is a 46.9 here in practice before we head on over to qualifying. So yeah, we're going to get plenty of race action here today around Knockhill.
That we are. Yes, we're going to get plenty. And we'll be straight into our qualifying session coming up now as we look up towards the famous Beatson's Building Supplies Bridge. That's the way that you get over to the inside of the circuit here at Knockhill. 10-minute qualifying session with 3 laps to be set. Then we're into the heat races and then off to the final where the big points are handed out. Now with an inverted top 20 grid, reverse grid for the final, Paul, making ways through the field here. At Knockhill particularly, you've got to be super careful, being very tactical and decisive with those moves.
Absolutely, as we see the Cuda driver of Chris Byram coming out of Clark there. But one of my favourite overtaking opportunities is to get a run through the chicane, get up alongside for the inside of Clark. That's a classic move around here at Knockhill. You've got that run, of course, down towards the chicane, the hairpin at the end of the lap. In fact, let's take you on board with a lap then into Duffer's Dip with Chris Byram. Through the right-hander, you plunge downhill through Leslie's and into McIntyre already. Nicely over the curb, use all the curb on the left-hand side there, through Butcher's then, and then the chicane. You point the car at the sky, up over the curbs, use all of the exit curb on the left-hand side, then brake nice and early. Get the car turned in up over the curb at Clark. Nicely done, Chris, so far. Then through this slop down towards Taylor's then. Quite a late braking into Taylor's, but it's a wide entry, steep uphill, and then it's uphill all the way here to the timing line, which is just right about here. It comes at you thick and fast, and a 48.3 for Chris Byram.
Yeah, good first qualifying lap there from Chris Byram, and you can really get an impression on that on board of just how much of a roller coaster it is. And you're constantly putting inputs into the car, whether that be steering, braking, throttle. It is a constant workout. The only time you really get any kind of rest at all, and it's a very brief one at that, is on the run from Clark's through his laps, which is flat out in these cars, all the way down towards the hairpin. Stuart Clark line 48.4 for him. Will Chadwick top of the shop at the moment at 47.7. So Ruta 48.0.
Yeah, it's Chadwick. He's familiar with this car as well. Of course, he raced in the Porsche Esports Carrera Cup Great Britain, so he has got experience in this car around this very venue from earlier this year. So he'll be using that knowledge to good effect here. But Zaruta keeping him very honest so far. He's only about 7/10 of a second off. Although change that, Zaruta's just put in a quicker time. Not quite pole position, but he's got closer.
Yeah, good lap there from Christian Zaruta. We know he's got great pace. Challenged for the championship last season, excuse me. Let's see what Ryan Penny can do then in the Porsche Senna Chester machine. It's a 49.3 for Ryan. I'm not sure. There it is, 49.3. Will Chadwick, his best, 47.0. Wowee.
Getting the times in. Yeah, the times are coming in thick and fast now as all the drivers are out on the track. But of course, you only get 3 flying laps here. And like I say, with such a short lap, you pretty much do your qualifying. And yeah, Oliver deciding that messed up the final corner, so just gets into pit road. So yeah, some of these drivers, they're looking at the lap time that Will Chadwick has done here, and they'll be thinking, oh, this doesn't bode well. They're saying that Austin Greatorex gets within 0.3 of a second now.
Yeah, that's encouraging there for Austin. And the thing is, if you're within that sort of lap time difference, you can defend well here at Knockhill. If you can get that track position early on, if you get a good start, get the car off the line well, make it down to turn 1, down to toughest step ahead, and you know you can really back the pack up if you wish to. As Johnny Elia completes his lap time, just less than 0.9 of a second off the ultimate pace of Chadwick. Very impressive indeed. What can Stephen Haley do? His best at the moment. 48.0. Does he improve? 47.8. Yeah, pretty good. I don't know if that counted though. I think he breached track limits.
Yeah, that can be a tricky one here, especially through the chicane. You can so easily pick yourself up a track limits infringement, and that costs you that lap time. So you do have to be careful in qualifying to make it count, as there's a car, Andy Shepherd, finding the gravel trap on the exit of the chicane. I dare say that he won't be the last one to find that gravel trap either.
Oh no, it's a proper challenge here at Knockhill. So many camber changes as well. You've really got to be on top of it. And of course, these Porsche 992 Cup cars, they're an incredible machine, but you are down, you are really on your own. No traction control, no ABS. And the ABS is the big thing here at Knockhill. There's some pretty tricky braking zones where the camber of the road changes, the elevation changes, and it's very easy to lock up here until you don't see it here. Oh ho ho! Pole position for Johnny Cullen, 46.8. Oh,
and he's got a lap
landed.
He's got a lap in the bag as well here. He could go even quicker if he really wants to, but everyone else has set their lap time so that Johnny Cullen, a little bit of TV time for him, but what a lap time from Johnny.
Yeah, that's fantastic. A proper qualifying special there from Johnny Cullen. We've seen him arguably put up the biggest fight to Will Chadwick in some of these races. Is this going to be the round where he really stamps some authority? Uses quite a lot of curb there, and yeah, you can see trying to lay down 500 horsepower through the rear wheels, heading up the hill. It's tricky. 46.9, but looks like that 46.8 is going to be good enough. I don't know if there's anyone else out there on a time who's going to beat that.
There's nobody with laps remaining. Remember, you only get 3 flying laps here in qualifying, so that the cars that are out there, they're just getting laps in here just to feel out the conditions, get every preparation that they can do here.
Honestly, if you can at Knockhill, you can get into such a trance that you can do 5 or 6 laps going, oh, I only needed to do 3. Oh, whoops. Because it's such a short lap as well, of course. I mean, you really do just get into such a trance. You can end up putting in hundreds of laps in practice before you know where you are. It's just so satisfying. As you can see there, all the bumps and the changes of elevation, a lot of them are really quite deceptive and don't show up as much on screen, but you really notice them in the car. Like this into toughest dip, there's actually one dip and then into the dip. Whoa! It's the corkscrew of the north. It's the mid corkscrew.
That's how many times have you pulled that out on commentary up at Knockhill?
You're not going to believe me. That is actually original. I'm going to write that down because I'm going to use that each and every day on Knockhill FM, the mid corkscrew.
But it's a tremendous track, though. It's a real challenge for these drivers. It's all about keeping it on the island, and you're quite right to say the undulation. That is the main feature of this track, is the undulation and the challenges that brings. So definitely, we're going to see some issues out there.
We're going to have a look at the replay of Johnny Cullen's pole lap here, because it was quite remarkable, and you can see the full commitment. Let's take a ride on board then with Johnny Cullen. A devilishly good lap from the 666 underneath the Beatson's Building Supplies Bridge, and using all the room on the left. That's the pro line there as well. And interesting, holding third gear. A lot of the other drivers using fourth. Leaves it in third. Down to second for McIntyre, then straightens the wheel up, power on the power. So nice. Up to fourth, then straight line the chicane. Oh, right on the edge of track limits. Using every bit of the track. Down to third for Clark. Not using too much of the curb. Oh, see, you don't want to go off that curb on the inside, but got away with it. Hard on the power then, down towards the hairpin. Oh, brakes nice and late, uses all the room on the entry, excuse me. Pretty good lap time, not many faults to pick in there, Paul.
I mean, you'd be hard pressed to get a quicker lap time, to be honest, around here in this Porsche. And yeah, brilliant stuff from Johnny Cullen. That's exactly what he would have wanted to have happened here in this qualifying session, because with the heat racing, of course, it splits the grid, so it gives those drivers an opportunity to get themselves a good position for the main feature race.
You see a very key piece of information on that sign there. The direction to Kinnairds Bistro, best square sausage and black pudding roll you'll ever have for your breakfast at a racetrack. Fantastic. Very, very good. The detail that the iRacing software developers have put in this venue, I cannot stress how special it is. Fantastic stuff. And the Porsche Club of Great Britain sim racers, they're about to take on the challenge of Knockhill. The Helter Skelter. Let's see how they're going to line up then for this opening heat of the day. So on pole position then will be Johnny Cullen alongside Austin Greatorex. Then it's Johnny Elia and Stephen Haley with Rob Sharp and Paul Goffin on row 3. Then row 4 is Josh Bailey and Stuart Clark with Andy Shepherd and Drew Fletcher rounding out the top 10. Jill Gardner will start 11th alongside Porsche Centre Chester's very own Carl Hazelton. So 6 rows of shiny Porsches. Will they be shiny by the end, Paul?
Well, you would like to think that there would be, but I have a sneaky suspicion that they won't be showroom ready, and Porsche Centre of Chester will be getting some business after this, I think.
Yeah, I hope they've got a good body shop, that's for sure. Well, Johnny Cullen's going to start on pole alongside championship leader Austin Greatorex. Lights are up on the gantry. We're about ready to charge down towards Duffer Step. Revs up. Green, green, green. We're racing at Knockhill. Down towards Duffer Step they go, and it's a perfect getaway from pole sitter Johnny Cullen as Johnny Elia, having a look up the inside there of Austin Greatorex, but Austin Greatorex maintains second. But Johnny Cullen, has he been up practicing at Knockhill? I must ask my colleagues if that's the case.
He's fair rocketed away, hasn't he? He's already 8.5, nearly 9/10 of a second in the lead over Austin Greatorex. We saw Austin have not the best of rounds at Alton Park last time out, so he'll be looking for a bit of redemption here for this one, but definitely perfect start from Johnny. Everybody else getting themselves single file early on, so they're thinking the long game and not getting involved in too many incidents, but with it only being 15 minutes of action, 30 laps potentially. In fact, it probably will be 30 laps with how quick the laps are here. Then these drivers are really going to be pushing it to the limit.
Yes, they are, that's for sure. Just sizing one another up at the moment. And this sort of race is all about minimising the mistakes. There's potential pitfalls. Stephen Haley there just getting absolute air Haley over the chicane. And that's where if you just get that, the car just lands the wrong way, you can end up in the fence so easily. And that's going to be the trick, is minimising those mistakes. So Stephen Haley has a little bit of a look there. No gap just yet. Trying to get through on Stuart Clark, but you have to time it carefully, and you really need a good run out of Clark's to get that move done into Taylor Hairpin.
Certainly do, and I don't remember them doing the pre-flight safety announcement for Stephen Haley. He certainly did take us for a trip, but you can see just the trickiness of overtaking around here. You can do it, and there we go again. All 4 wheels up over and in the air. I mean, that's an extreme way of trying to do a bit of tyre saving, but look at that. It looked like he could have got the run there, but he clipped the inside curb, did Haley, and that just forced him wide and lost him a little bit of momentum.
Well, he's getting a little bit, he's definitely showing his intent to Stuart Clark in front, saying, I want by. But you have to get that move. Nice. Oh, so we've got a spinner at the hairpin. Who was that? It's gone wide off into the kitty litter on the exit off the hairpin there. One of the drivers further back in the field. So they all launch over the curbs down Duffus Step and into the right hand of McIntyre. It's very tricky but very important corner. I think it might have been Carl Hazelton hard on the brakes, trail brakes into the corner, and just carries just a little bit too much speed, but no harm, no foul.
Yeah, the hill there can actually help you. That steep incline can actually help you get the car slowed down a bit, but I think Carl was being a little bit ambitious with that one in trying to get it wound up there. Look again, Stephen Haley. He's not getting a good enough run out of Clark. He needs to just avoid that sausage curb. You can get a run out of Taylor's up over the start and finish line down to Duffers Dip, but you've got to be a bit brave, haven't you, to make that move stick into Duffers.
Into Duffus that is a big scary one, and often doesn't end well. Often ends in a bit of an aeroplane accident, usually. So yeah, it's if you really need to be decisive if you're going to make that move stick. But over they go, over the curves. I mean, they're getting so much airtime over the chicane. They've got enough time to sell a scratch car during the flight as they head up through Hislops. And the thing is, in that braking zone before the hairpin, you can see from this angle as well that when you just as you're hitting the brakes, it just dips. Oh, the Scuderia Chicken House car of Andy Shepherd's off.
That's Greater X.
Oh dear.
It was not the best of days at Alton Park a couple of weeks ago, and once again Austin Greater X finds himself off track doing a bit of rallycross. That's not until October.
Oh dear, yeah, BTRDA coming to Knockhill in October. Let's have a look then. So first of all, it's Andy Shepherd, the Scuderia Chicken House car. Oh, that's so classic, just trying to get the power on coming out of Clarkson. Oh, that's an uncharacteristic mistake for Austin Greater X again, just asking for the power a little bit too early. Didn't look to make too much of a mistake, but these cars have a lot of power, 500 horsepower, and the power comes in straight away because they're normally aspirated. The power is all the way up there, the rev range. So Stephen Haley, the man on the move, puts a big move up the inside here on Rob Sharp. Does he get the move done? It's going to be a drag race to Duffus Dip. Who's got the guts? Who's gonna chicken out? Well, Haley luckily gets the move done before the entrance to Duffus. I thought Sharp was going to have a dive there. Thought better of it.
Yeah, that's is that not Bailey that actually has got past us? He's got past both Clark and Bailey now. Yeah,
Haley and Bailey. Have you been in an accident?
Yeah, it's a firm of solicitors, that's for sure. But yeah, Haley, in all of the shenanigans that have been going on, he's found himself in 4th place now. And of course, remember that every position that they gain here is a change of their grid position in that feature race. So in some cases, you do want to, with a reverse grid of 20 for the feature race, you do want to maybe starting a bit further down. But championship points, you want to get yourself the best opportunity of points as well.
Yeah, and in the heats, your points are scored based on your overall position. So if you're in the AM class like Rob Sharp, scoring 3rd place points in the heat is absolutely fantastic. In the final, the points are scored about your position in class. So overall position points for the heats and class position points in the final. As Greater X now has got some work to do. And he gets a good exit there out of Clark's. He's got a great run here on Stuart Clark. He's in 7th overall, 4th in class. Going for a move up the inside. Big look there. Greater X, can he get it stopped in time? Tucks it up in the apex nicely. That's a beautiful move.
That's classic. A little bit of a half spin at the back there. A bit of a strong application of the strong application of the right foot, I think, is what that was. But yeah, that was the classic move down into Taylor's. Here's the replay. That's Paul Goffin. Just gets on that curb, and that's it. It can unsettle the car as you go up over the top of the rise there on the inside. So it's sometimes better to take a wider line through the hairpin there and contact. Greater X losing positions again.
That was very gentlemanly there from Austin, you have to say. He just maybe edged Bailey out just a tiny bit. and he very politely pulled back out the throttle. But that was Christmas come early for Stuart Clark. He said, "Oh, thank you very much. Good night." He's off in the Rusty Roast machine.
Yeah, 2 places gained for Clark there. Nicely done. So he's up to 5th now. And yeah, he's laughing all the way to the bank with that one. But he's still got about 7 minutes remaining in this race. We're actually about 10 laps remaining in this race because it's just flying by as this one. So definitely these drivers pushing things to the ragged edge and then some. And Greater X, he looks like he's got a good run again. Look at that, holding the inside line. If you want to go past, oh, a bit of a squeeze, change. See, that's not always wise to do, a late change in the braking zone.
Yeah, you've got to think Austin will be, Greater X will just be trying to make ground up, and he's I'm sure he'll be getting frustrated behind Josh Bailey. He's going to have a look up the inside at Duff, as we know, and thinks better of it. You can sometimes, the Rory Butcher move is McIntyre's. You sort of stop your opponent going down into Duffus, and as Bailey, he's going to have to back out of this one surely, and he does. So Greater X gets by just on pure pressure alone. But yeah, the Rory Butcher move, sit on the right hand shoulder of your opponent going into Duffus, and then dive bomb at McIntyre's. He pulled a beautiful move on Andrew Jordan a couple of years ago in the Honda, when Rory was in the Honda Civic. Very, very good move indeed. Although the next race he tried it on Turkington and ended up in the gravel. So it's not a foolproof. It can't go wrong. Don't try it at home, kids. But
you can see how Josh Bailey, it was getting the line wrong through here at Leslie's, then got him compromised into McIntyre, and that allowed Greater X to be able to get him on corner exits. You can see how all the different, those early corners just seem to stack up on top of each other, and you get one wrong and it just sets you to fail the next 2-3 corners.
Absolutely right. Yeah, they're basically all one continuous string of corners, and you're absolutely spot on, Paul. You get it wrong, it's you pay for it. Oh, there's a bit of a lock up there for Rob Sharp in the 86 car. Whoa, running the Penske-esque Sunoco style colours. Looks fantastic, that machine. Stephen Haley, 3rd in the Pro Class, 4th overall. So Rob Sharp will be really happy with this. Just getting a little bit of a lock up there. Hopefully not put too much temperature through his tyres. Speaking of tyres, for all Porsche Club of Great Britain members, don't forget you get a discount at your local Pirelli Performance Centre. And Pirelli were actually the first company that Porsche chose to make a specific tyre for their vehicles. So for no matter what Porsche you drive, you can get a specific tyre from your local Pirelli Performance Centre.
I mean, money off and specified tyres for your Porsche. I mean,
you had me at money off.
Yeah, same here. I'm a Yorkshireman. What do you expect? Greater X. No, that's yeah. Haley's actually just getting past. Oh, this is up the run out of Taylor's into on Duffers Dip. If you're going to make a move into Duffers, you need to get it done on the entry.
You pretty much need it done before the entry, more or less. Otherwise, it's 2x2 through there. Usually ends up badly. You can do it in Legends cars because they're quite small, but big wide Porsches don't think so, especially these turbo-bodied 992 machines. Yes, if you're rewatching the stream, Austin Greater X, they're all on the turbo body. All 992s are nowadays. Anyway, moving on. So here we go. Oh, and it just seems that Rob Sharp didn't quite get the power down as much. Haley really pushing hard out of the hairpin, and Hurricane Haley goes through.
You can see how Sharp just goes, yeah, do you know what? You can have the corner there.
On yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's you've got to play the percentages there when you're too wide into that corner, and if you sort of compromise their line, you can maybe sometimes get an advantage out of that. But yeah, Haley was ahead and is looking forward now. By the way, can I say we've not talked about Johnny Cullen all apart from the first lap of the race. 13.5 seconds ahead right now.
It's absolutely superb. I mean, to put 13.5 seconds into a driver of Johnny Elia's quality is quite remarkable. Johnny does actually has a significant fan club of viewers who tuned in to support him. I've actually thoroughly enjoyed watching the broadcast here on RaceSpotTV, Paul. So Johnny very much an ambassador for sim racing whilst pulverising the field as he is at the moment.
I mean, why wouldn't you enjoy a RaceSpotTV broadcast,
Yeah.
especially
Especially
when we've got the dream team on the commentary?
Absolutely.
What's that? Are people switching off? All right, Roger.
All
that.
right, okay. Can you hear me now?
But Johnny Cullen, I mean, it's a 15-minute race as well, let's not forget, and he's got nearly a 15-second gap. So you're talking a second a minute in this race. It's just tremendous. And it must be the helmet that's giving him all of his powers. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are like the raised eyebrows that you will get around every time you go down Duffus Dip, actually. But if my eyes didn't deceive me there, the front of the car looked like it had a little bit of damage, but that could easily be the curbs. I mean, it's a little bit rough around the edges, and the car does get an absolute battering around here. It's almost like if you can imagine Sebring in miniature and very hilly. It's kind of like that. So it's actually not like Sebring at all.
It's not like Sebring at all, yeah.
But that's what I mean. Is if you can imagine a smaller, hillier Sebring. Yeah.
Sure, Peter. Why not? Let's go with that.
If you can imagine the straight being much longer, it'd be like Le Mans.
Now, one thing I am keeping an eye on my timing screen is this right here. Johnny Elia and Stephen Haley. So Haley's got with Elia, but he's running out of time in this one, about a minute and 8 remaining. So if he's going to make any more positions, he needs to do it quick here, Peter.
That he does, yeah. Hurricane and Haley on the charge. Oh, uses quite a lot of curve there on the inside of McIntyre's through Butchers and then through the chicane. Whoop, whoop, whoa. Whoa. I'll tell you what, the suspension has to work so hard through there. Haley taking quite a tight line into Clark's there as well, and Elia, just running a little bit wide. That's you can tell he's pushing as they go past Gary Stagg commentary tower on the right. And this will be the now will it be last lap? When did Johnny Cullen cross the line? I wonder. Will this be the last lap or 2 to go?
Well, my timing software is saying 1 more lap, so we'll have to wait and see for official confirmation.
You're never knowingly wrong.
I'm never knowingly wrong. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm right. I think it should be.
Last lap. Yeah, last lap. So Johnny Cullen then coming up towards the hairpin for the final time in this opening heat of the day. It's been a superb performance, putting it on pole, knocking Will Chadwick off pole position. Johnny Cullen is your winner here in heat number 1 in the Porsche Club of Great Britain, round 4 at Knockhill. Brilliant performance.
Yeah, tremendous stuff there from Johnny Elia trying to hold on against Stephen Haley, and he's just going to do that. It's not quite a long enough run, is it, up towards the finish line, the timing line, which is right there where the checkered flag is being waved, and the last few cars come across the line. And that was a entertaining first race. I can't wait to see what the next heat brings us.
Well, we shall see. You've got to think at Austin Greatorex, he'll be kicking himself there. Relatively small mistake, but quite big consequences there for Austin. He's come so close a number of times to winning this championship. You could say that this is potentially his best opportunity to put a championship challenge together, and that's not what he needed. But these are your results then after 19 laps in 15 minutes. And Johnny Cullen saving his best, well, for the second last lap. And interesting stuff. 17.7 seconds the gap in the end, with Elia and Haley rounding out the podium. Rob Sharp, your winner in the AM class. Good haul of points for him. Great Rex there in 4th position. So this is how they start for Heat 2. An all-star front row. Will Chadwick and Christian Saruta. Then it's Ollie Carbardine and Chris Byram. Then Ryan Penny and Amrik Sashdev there on row 4. Heinz Meyer, David Patrick, Ralph Meyer and Andrew Soper complete our 12-car grid. Off they go again. They're keen to get to the cafe. Off they go. Down towards turn 1, and it's a perfect getaway from Will Chadwick with Christian Saruta and the flying bogey all over the back of him. Then it's Mark Baxter Jones here in 3rd place, chasing down Saruta.
First time through the chicane, and everybody's behaving themselves. Behaving themselves through the chicane the first time though. So 2 starts in these races and 2 clean starts up to this point. Late onto the brakes. Saruta once by Will Chadwick and Kawada. Cowardine is looking to challenge for even a second step of the podium here.
Well, this is interesting stuff. I mean, Chris Cerruta knows that he's got to put Chadwick under pressure. He's got to try and make a move on him early and try and upset his rhythm a little bit, really. That's the only chance, because if you let Will get into a rhythm, he just time trials away with the best of them. He just put in those fast lap one after the other and he's gone. So Cerruta will be trying everything he can to stop that. Of course, Cerruta, a former Caterham racer in the outdoor world, and I do wonder in his time at Caterham he would have raced here at Knockhill, so perhaps has a bit of good knowledge of the circuit. Certainly has real world knowledge of a similar car. He drives a GT3 RS in real life, so knows what a flat six Porsche with a 4-litre engine in the back feels like.
Also, I didn't realise that he went bed frame racing with the Caterhams, because they do resemble the bed frame to those cars.
It's iconic design, timeless. Timeless.
It is timeless. No.
Have you ever driven? Oh, you've never driven. You don't drive.
So
honestly, Paul, they are so good. Anything short, short of a Porsche, they are the last word in driving. Oh, hard in the wall. Who was that? Oh, it's Ryan Penny.
It's not the day to have a Porsche Centre Chester livery on that car. And a little shake of the wheel just to make sure everything's straight. Here we go. Hits that. Just carried too much speed.
Cold tyres.
It's not hit the wall too hard though. That car should be okay. You should be able to continue. We've got door panels being rubbed here into on Stuffer's dip. They're still side by side, and incredibly, they both make it through. Oh, well, not quite.
Just locked up there did Tom Slater. He just carried that, just got a little bit distracted battling there, hit the brakes, and that's the thing with the elevation changes here at Knockhill. No anti-lock braking system in these cars, so if you're too aggressive on the brake, it will lock up. And maybe just click the gear down a bit too early as well, maybe lock the rear. Let's have a look then. Whoa, who's that coming out of left? Okay, that was the start of it. With Slater and Carbadine. They bang wheels. I don't know what Slater's doing there, to be honest. He knows plenty of time to know there's a driver on his left-hand side. Carbadine slips past, and then Slater, just locks up.
Yeah, and I gave him the commentator's curse right then, saying that they all managed to make it through, and then he immediately puts it in the wall. So, a little bit rude, but still able to all run. Every car that started this particular race are still running. But so far, I will say, Stephen Kershaw in fourth place is not making any inroads in front of him. And Cowardine, speaking of inroads, there's a little bit of a fight at the front of the field.
Something happened there, because Cerruta was already 0.8 of a second behind Chadwick, and now, as you can see, he's about 800ths behind him. So wonder if Chadwick made a mistake. Cerruta is all over the back of Chadwick, trying everything. Chadwick now going very defensive as well. And Cerruta's such a hard racer. If there's a move to go for, he will take it with both hands. Through butchers they go, then up through the chicane, hip, skip, and a jump. And Cerruta is all over the back of Chadwick here. As you can have a look into Clark's, he thought about it. Maybe into the hairpin. Tell you what, Cerruta looks like he's just got a little bit more drive grip there. Are able to use it. They're all in the same setup, of course. Medium downforce iRacing setup. I wonder what happened on that last lap, Paul.
Chadwick just looks a little flustered, doesn't he? He was about 0.6 of a second slower on that last lap, and it was up over the curb. There you go, you see, out of Clark curve and up over the little bump in the ground. So that's why he lost all of that gap that he built up at the start. So yeah, he looks a little bit flustered there with Cerruta getting all over the back of his car, but he seems to have settled things down now, does Will, and hopefully Will, he's not thinking about his power socket, because he had that fry on him the other day.
Yes, did he not? He spilt water in his power socket, and basically threw a load of tissues at it. There's tissues all over the floor, and I don't know if it worked or not, but obviously, because he's racing with us.
You don't need to be an electrician to know that water and electricity do not mix very well.
No, very true, very true. Well, it did seem that just, like you say, flustered Chadwick for a lap or two, but he's managed to put it behind him, it seems, as Saruta keeps giving chase. And I did wonder for a lap or two there, Paul, if Chadwick had maybe got some damage on the underfloor of his Fordzilla Porsche, but a big float over the curb there from Saruta. But no, it doesn't seem to be a problem, and Chadwick really now getting his head down. And who's that of? Heinz Meyer. Oh dear.
He's second to the rallycross
That's
track.
McRae corner he's on. It's the new McRae corner. He wants to go and check it out.
As he finally gets himself back up and running down into 10th place. But you could see with that on board from Zaruta, the different lines that they were taking. Yeah, clipping the curb on the inside of Duffers, just swings the back end around. Of course, that engine acting as a pendulum over the back wheels of the car, and once it breaks away, it's very hard to save that. But yeah, you could see on the onboard from Zaruta, you could see the different lines that Chadwick and Zaruta were taking, and Chadwick taking more curb on the left part of the chicane compared to Zaruta, carrying a bit more speed.
Yeah, you can just little differences. Well, we're just coming up for half race distance then, and Will Chadwick leads now by 1.3 seconds. Then it's Christian Zaruta with Chris Byram, the leader in the AM class, of course, known in the Porsche Club of Great Britain paddock as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or Chris Akabusi, also with his very jazzy paint schemes. He's one of our World GT drivers, Paul, isn't he? Is Chris Byram?
He used to be. I don't think he's not in the series this season, but he's certainly somebody who has raced here on RaceSpotTV on the World GT Championship with the Cuda Motorsport, the eMotorsports team, and doing a very, very good job in third place. And we've got a car facing the wrong way. That was David Patchin.
Well, if his car's knackered, he can borrow the pace car there. It's a Porsche. It's missing a wing, but it's actually in touring specification. But yeah, could borrow that perhaps. Ask the pace car driver. The virtual Alan. Whoa! Just got it all out of shape there. Now the pace car driver at Knockhill is not Benny. It's Alan Barron is the pace car driver. We've got a virtual Alan Barron. He normally has to make do with a Honda Civic Type R. It'd be quite enjoying the Porsche, I'm sure.
I'm sure that would be Gordon Shedden who got him the Honda Civic Type R for real well, but yeah, you've got the Porsche here.
Alan, he does normally wear a cap, does Alan? But there we go. We've also got a virtual Dennis Hobbs in the flag stand as well. So we've got. I wonder if they could laser scan some of the staff at Knockhill. That would be great. Laser scan and maybe get some voices as well. I have put my name forward for the Tannoy announcement. I think we need to put this as Knockhill FM in the center.
Well, we have got that. There's the. Thank you very much, Hugo, for giving us these shots. There is a race going on, everybody. Don't worry, we are paying attention to it. I'm honest about that. But Carwadine now under pressure from Stephen Kershaw in 5th place. And Kershaw, I don't know if he'll be disappointed with this or if he'll comfortable in this position. I don't know.
Well, in the pro classes, Steve, so you got to think you want to get past any of the AM class competitors, but Byram and Carwadine definitely holding their own here, that's for certain. So Kershaw will, he'll have to, if he's going to make a move, he'll need to make sure he does it well. 5 minutes to go then, and Carwadine is looking very, very smooth, and Byram as well, looking like a podium here in this opening heat race. Fantastic.
Chris Byram actually last lap was 1.3 seconds back faster than Zaruta, so something happened to Christian on that last lap to get a 49.6 for Christian. So yeah, he's obviously had a mistake out there. Look at that line. Oh, but he's in the gravel. I said that we'd be getting some visitors to the gravel trap at the exit of the chicane, and Stephen Kershaw proved that.
You've got to be careful there, because that is pretty soggy and claggy in there. You can easily end up with the barrier, but luckily Stephen Kershaw keeps going then right in the draft, and you can pick up a little bit of a slipstream from the car in front, trying to just get on the case as you head into Duffus, but Carwadine really holding off well at the moment. Chadwick has opened up the gap I mean, he might have gained a second or so with Saruta's mistake, but on pure pace, he's opened up the gap quite considerably. 4.4 seconds is the gap. I tell you what, Chadwick versus Cullen, coming from the 10th row of the grid in the final, is going to be a corker, I reckon.
That's going to be get the popcorn out, everybody. That's going to be a good one to watch between those two. As we've said, it's not the easiest place to overtake at, but you can make overtakes around this venue, so it's not entirely impossible. But Byram now, Chris Byram, he's getting a little bit of a queue of traffic behind him. He's got Oliver Cowardine and also Stephen Kershaw as well has joined him. So Cowardine and Kershaw have really just picked up the pace a little bit on Chris, and he needs to not race in his mirrors too much. He needs to keep watching forward.
Yeah, it's I'll tell you what, that Kuda Motorsport machine looking fantastic. Chris Akabusi, Christian Saruta, Chris Akabusi Byram, looking fantastic. I've broken my co-commentator, yet our viewers can't see this, but I've broken him. I'm sacked. 3 minutes to go in this race. And Chris Byram, not Christian Saruta. Whoa! Tom Slater off again. Not like him for the number 53. A race to forget.
Yeah, it definitely race to forget. But fortunately, with an evening like this, you've got pretty much straight away a reset and go again to hopefully then right some wrongs. And yeah, it's just clipping that curb at Clark, isn't it? Everyone that we seem to see clip that curb either go sliding off or they get pushed wide on corner exiting towards the gravel trap. So it is a tricky old corner, is that you're coming up over a little bit of a rise there at Clark, and yeah, definitely just catches people out, does that?
Yeah, 2 wheels on the curb, but not on the sausage there. That's the trick to Clark curve. I know what the trick is. It's trying to deploy it. That's the problem. I've been told, yeah, 2 wheels on the curb. That's what you need, but not the sausage curve, of course. Minute and 45 seconds to go, and Ollie Carbadine is potentially threatening a podium charge here overall, and already leading the AM class. Chris Byram leading the AM class in 3rd overall. As they come across a little bit of lap traffic, that might take the eye off some of our drivers. Kershaw, I think, is going to get caught a little bit. Oh, just about. As Andrew Soper goes a lap behind.
Yeah, whoa. Kershaw went deep, and very late sort of switch of sides there on corner exit. Yeah, Kershaw's lost out on that one, and that's cost him a couple of seconds on this fight for 3rd place. And I think I've discovered the reason why I'm slow around Knockhill. That's because I'm on a no curb diet.
Ah, very good. Yeah, very good. Well, yeah, you know, you're missing out as well as you're missing out on the rolls as well. Then, Paul, if you're on a no curb diet, it's a disaster all round. White flag in the air. It's actually more of a slightly faded yellow at Knockhill. This could maybe do with a new one. As Will Chadwick comes down into toughest step. And another super drive from the youngster. Porsche driver as well. Drives Boxster, and actually just had it up doing the North Coast 500 as well. So he's got his eye in with the Scottish roads. Maybe he came up to do a bit of a recce, possibly. Very neat and tidy through there, showing off the perfect line. And Chadwick then comes through to the Taylor hairpin for the final time. He will be your heat race winner for heat number 2. Will Chadwick gets his championship charge back on track with another victory here in the Porsche Club of Great Britain.
Yeah, great drive there from Will. Chris Byram having to go defensive if he can get the run. Oh, not quite getting the run there was Oliver Cowardine, but Byram just holds on to a podium position there. I thought Byram was maybe going to be a little bit of a sitting duck. Cowardine just didn't quite get the power down out of Taylor's, but yeah, Chadwick not quite as imperious as our race heat number 1 winner, but certainly a good result for Will nonetheless.
Yeah, very, very strong result indeed as Ryan Penny brings the number 99 Porsche Centre Chester machine over the line. Last few taking the checkered flag as well. If you finished in the top 10 of your heat, then you will get a good grid spot for the final. If you're outside, well, you'll be starting right from the back of the pack. Your winner then, number 88, Will Chadwick, by 7.8 seconds for Christian Tsuruta. With the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Chris Byram finishing in third. And top of the AM class as well, Ollie Carbadine was fourth, followed by Steve Kershaw, Amrik Sashdev, Ryan Penny, Ralph Meyer, Heinz Meyer, and Tom Slater. Then last two, Andrew Soper and David Patching. Fastest lap going to Will Chadwick, 47.2 on lap 11. Quite a few takers here for warm-up, Paul. Do you think there's a few drivers looking to make amends, possibly in the final?
Well, here's the thing with this heat racing system that they use on this. If you're involved in that first race, you then have a 15-minute period where you've not been doing laps around here, and you want to jump into this warm-up session and just try and get your eye in again, get your rhythm around this track, because it is very much a rhythm track, is this venue. And you want to utilise that warm-up time, whereas the drivers who have just raced, they will then just say, right, I just want a quick couple of minutes break, maybe have a drink, go have a comfort break, and then they'll be right, ready to go for that feature. Yeah, those drivers that have been waiting patiently from heat number one, they want to just get their eye in back again around here.
Yeah, hopefully in their comfort break they've enjoyed a can of Iron Brew and a Tunnocks tea cake. That's very important mid-race or mid-meeting snack as well. Huge thank you to all of our sponsors from the Porsche Club of Great Britain. Strasse Porsche, fantastic independent specialist for Porsche sales. Great range of stock always in there as well. Porsche Centre Chester, one of the official Porsche centres around the country as well. Our very own Carl Hazelton, the boss man at Porsche Centre Chester, and a great supporter of the championship as well. They always have some very cool machines from the entire Porsche range in stock as well. Stand 21. Well, if you're a track day enthusiast, you need to make sure you're safe and comfortable in Stand 21 race wear. Well, make sure that you do that. Petro Canada lubricants as well. If you're getting your Porsche serviced or just a quick top-up, make sure you only put Petro Canada lubricants in your Porsche here in the UK. Midas Simulation, a very, very, very cool website with a huge array of goodies for your sim, from wheels to rigs to pedals, all kinds of things like that. And Matt Dorrington, owner of Midas Simulation, will offer fantastic service of fitting up the rig for you. And Pirelli tyre as well, of course. What tyres are we using, Paul? Black, round, Pirelli, as you can say.
Yes, round back black Pirellis indeed, and that's exactly
Pirelli.
That's exactly what we're using here today, and certainly great to see so many brands on board with this series and supporting this championship. It really does sort of help with these series, to help run these series, have sponsors on board to help pay for running your sessions on an evening, any prize money as well you may run, or any added costs that are associated with running a championship. You know, just the simple thing of having a championship website, you may have to pay for running fees on that. But you know, there's all sorts of things that running a sim racing championship can do, and I know with some series that I've run in, they've actually even compensated, you know, small compensation, some of the volunteers who run series like this. So you know, it does go a long way, just as a thank you to these championships, to help bring us these series and to help pay for these broadcasts as well. Let's not forget about it. They're paying for us.
I mean, your flat cap fee, your flat cap budget alone must be astronomical.
Oh, it's authentic Harris tweed, so of course it's.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, very good, very nice. Yeah, I did think it would be quality. You buy cheap, you buy twice.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's, you know, we've got to pay for the flat cap somehow.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, I'm glad we've been able to meet that. That's for sure. Drivers just coming into the last sort of 10 seconds or so of their warm-up session, and we'll be straight in to the final as well. Slightly longer race in the final, 25 minutes. Long way around here. A lot of concentration required to keep the car on circuit for that length of time. Checker flag is out then, warm-up complete. Let's have a look to see how they line up for the final of round 4 of the Porsche Club of Great Britain Sim Racing Championship from Scotland's National Motorsports Centre, Knockhill. So Tom Slater and Carl Hazelton will start on the front row, followed by Heinz Meyer, Gilles Gardner, Ralph Meyer and Paul Goffin. Then on row 4 will be Ryan Penny and Josh Bailey, followed by Amrik Sashdev, Stuart Clark, Steve Kershaw and Austin Greatorex. 13th will be Ollie Carbadine with Rob Sharp, Chris Byram, Stephen Haley, Christian Tsuruta and Johnny Elia. Then on row 10, it's our 2 heat race winners, Will Chadwick and Johnny Cullen. Then it's Drew Fletcher, Andrew Soper, Andy Shepherd and David Patching, making up our 24-car grid here for this final race at Knockhill. So there's Tom Slater on pole position. Had a difficult heat and, well, he's got the perfect place to make amends. We know Tom is fast, and from that grid position, he could be really, really dangerous. Watch out for that 53 car. So, last few drivers taking their positions on the grid, stretching down the hill towards pit entry. Revs rise. Lights begin to illuminate on the bridge. Green, green, green. We're racing in the final here at Knockhill. Down they go then, shuffling for position into toughest dip. Over the curbs, trying to keep it nice and steady. We're watching those cold tyres as well, but it's a perfect getaway from Tom Slater, who bounces it over the curbs, and oh no, we've got a pile up. Oh, we've got a McIntyre's pile up. Oh dear.
I think there was Goffin and Bailey involved in that one, looking at them dropping down my timing sheet. You got Amrik Sashdev as well, is dropping down the order, so he's had issues. There he is at the side of the road, but we're staying green flag racing here. And oh, it's the hairpin! Goodness! Oh, that's one way of getting into the hairpin. Unfortunately, he's damaged that car. Fortunately, he's near pit entry, so he can get his fast repair.
Heinz gave it too many beans there, that's for sure. Oh my word. Oh, I've never seen a more dramatic lockup than that going into the hairpin there. Just too much speed, too aggressive on the brakes, and Heinz Meyer, big lockup, locked the rears, and lucky not to skiddle Tom Slater with him. I'm sure Slater, looking in his mirror, might have thought, what is going on there? Great start from Porsche Centre Chester's Carl Hazelton. Great start from him as he hops over the curbs at Clarkson. Ralph Meyer, brother of Heinz, there in third. Good start from Greatorex. And Tsuruta there in 5th position. Then it's Chadwick back in 7th. Now, where is Cullen? Where has he got to?
Chadwick
got caught up.
Yeah, Chadwick actually making another place up there, up into 6th place at the hairpin. He's on an absolute charge. He's up 13 places, along with Christian Tsuruta as well. He's up 13 places. This is a great start. Cullen is all the way down in 21st, and I think we're going to see why.
Okay, see if we can spot him just there at the back of shot in the black and green car, just coming into the apex of McIntyre's, and he gets absolutely sandwiched and then ran into the back of by Patching. So yeah, Cullen got hit from all angles there. Tsuruta's off. Oh, Tsuruta is off. Oh, after such a good start, he was flying, and it's all gone wrong for the flying bogey. Oh dear. Let's see what happened then. Oh, gets a big wiggle on coming out of Butchers. That's a strange place to lose it. And that sort of carried on all the way through to the chicane and manages not to get collected. But that's a story of what could have been there, Paul.
Well, I mean, everyone else who was oh wow, that's a unique line through Leslie's there from Ralph Meyer. He'll be getting one heck of a slowdown penalty there on that one for taking so much for cut, and he'll be dropping back down the order. I can tell you Dave Patchin and Ryan Penny have headed to pit road, and here is a look at that lockup on lap number 1, and oh yeah.
Massive.
I think I've seen about 57 different types of varieties of off there at Taylor's, and you to thank me for that pun later on.
You missed my one.
Oh, no, I got it.
You got it. Oh, good. Excellent, yeah. Excellent. I wouldn't want it to go in the can, but that's good.
Chadwick's up to third in all of this. Amazing. While we've been going on with this, Chadwick is already up to third. This is huge for his championship.
So this is on board from Slater. Great. Slater sees him in the mirror and just straightens the wheel up. Just as he's about to turn in, he straightened the wheel up and thought, absolutely no way. And great awareness there from Slater. And poor old Heinz Meyer, he really will be kicking himself at that one as well. And he might feel a touch sheepish as well. But anyway, Ralph Meyer keeping up the family recipe there in.
I have to work with him every Monday night as we go. Will Chadwick, look at it now. Chadwick is up to second place now in all of this. It's taken him less than 5 minutes to get up into second. This is tremendous. Austin Greatorex will be a bit more of a difficult target now.
Tell you what, Chadwick using a lot of the curb on the inside there, going into the chicane. Let's see what happened to Slater then from the leads. Oh, he had a big lead too, and has to grab the brake on, and Greatorex goes by saying thank you very much. Oh, Stuart Clark and the Rusty's roast machine off into the gravel as well. We said 25 minutes is a long way around here, Paul, and mistakes creeping in already.
Yeah, you've got to be so careful, as we've got to be side by side there with Zaruta and Haley. And Haley looks to have a bit of damage to the front right of his car, so he's carrying a bit of damage. Now, with a track like this, it's not too bad because top speed isn't your main thing around here. It's all about cornering. It's all about getting that car up over the curbs for this venue. So Haley won't be affected too much by that damage on the front right.
No, that's just kind of regular wear and tear over the curbs. As Chris Byram's having a great meeting, fantastic meeting. Third in the AM class, 6th overall, with Ralph Meyer chasing him there, but there's a little bit of distance between them at this stage. But I'm sure Chris Byram will be very happy with his night so far, racking up some good points for the championship in the AM class. So Greatorex leads Chadwick by just under 2 seconds. Then what's the lap times like between this pair? Greatorex has lost about 0.2 of a second last time by. Both drivers actually setting their fastest lap of the race last time by. Sharp
is dropping down the order, and that's exactly why he's going grass tracking there on the exit. Well, that's more sort of exit of Duffers. Probably lost it then on the exit of Duffers through Leslie's. He's taking a launch over Duffers dip. Fortunately, everybody else is able to avoid him. I mean, that's one way around that corner, but it's unfortunately not the ideal line.
Gee whiz. Wow. Well, Saruta, a little bit of a mistake there as well. Battling away with Johnny Elia. That's an evenly matched pair here, Saruta and Elia. And neither are wanting to give best as they head into Duffers. Who's got the guts? And you just know that Saruta, he's not going to back out. There you go, he's run on deep into McIntyre, somehow keeps it on the blacktop. But Saruta, if it's a side-by-side, he is not backing out of it.
And meanwhile, Stephen Haley is right there, just loitering with intent. And Oliver Cowardine is thinking, can I have a go at this one as well? It seems to be a bit of a train of cars. We've got cars stopped on track. Oh no, Chris Byram's been hit.
Oh, and I think that was Carl Hazelton who just, I think it was, who ran into the side of Byram. Oh, I think, was Hazelton a lap down?
No, this was the battle for second and third in AM, and it was a squeeze, a little bit of contact, and then I mean, yeah, you got to be careful with your rejoins. I mean, I can already sense Connery Maddock is watching this and is shaking his head, tutting away at that rejoin. But yeah, that's far from ideal. There's a mistake there, and that's going to drop Mayer down the order, and Zaruta and Elia is going to say thank you very much and take those places.
Hazelton's gonna. Well, you could in Carl Hazelton's defence, you got to think he would have been really fizzing after kind of being clipped by Kershaw, and maybe just distracted a little bit. Thought, oh, I've got to get going again, and then there came Byram, and Byram's so unlucky there as well. Hazelton's actually not lost any track position yet. He's still in 4th and 2nd in AM class, but he does have Christian Cerruto all over the back of him. So with Johnny Elia and Hurricane Haley right behind, but back at the front, Chadwick has eroded that 2-second gap in no time, and he is all over the back of Greatorex. But can he get the move done though on Greatorex? You know, you can put up a defence here at Knockhill. You can run a defensive line and keep your rival behind, and that's exactly what Greatorex has got to do here.
Yeah, he does. You're absolutely right there, Peter. And Chadwick, he can afford to be patient, although there's different lines on display again through the chicane there. But yeah, Chadwick, he can afford to be a little bit patient. As there goes the router on Hazelton now. And Hazelton, he's got cars alongside him, and Johnny Elia just getting caught up behind. And that's going to slow him down and allows the router to pull away here. Into Clark, there's no move coming, and Cerruto saying, bye boys, I'm off.
Yeah, that really worked. Cerruto had to be bold going into McIntyre's, but he did get it done. Elia takes another look at the inside, and Hazelton is no pushover, and this is, whoa dear. That's Haley makes a mistake there, then just asking for the power that little bit too early. And these cars, they can make you feel a hero, but my goodness me, they can make you feel zero as well, because they do not let you away with mistakes. When you're in a groove with these cars, they are just gorgeous things to drive, but my goodness me, if you make a mistake, they will punish you. Chadwick looking up the inside then as well. Greatorex quite aggressively leaves the gap open and gets himself a good exit then out of the hairpin. So trusting his pace there is Greatorex, but they've got a bit of traffic to worry about here with Ryan Penny. Yeah,
this could prove key for Will Chadwick. This could be a really helpful matter for him as he tries his best to get the lead. Not forthcoming just yet, but again, look at how much curb Chadwick takes. It really opens up that right-hander, and that's where he gets the run out of that chicane up into Clark Curve. And yeah, the 99 of Ryan Penny just getting out the way of these two. He realises that isn't his fight. Will Chadwick, he's looking now. He's trying to make some moves. He's trying to get the cut back here, but that's well done. That's well defended from Austin Greatorex. He just park it on the apex and stop any cutback coming.
Yeah, that was really, really nice there from Austin Greatorex. Just put the car exactly where it needs to be, where it doesn't matter how quick you are, you cannot pass when someone puts their car in that position. So Greatorex is just going to try to defend as best as he can, use the traffic as best as he can as well, as there's more squabbling going on as Kershaw fighting to make his way through the field now. Oh, Greatorex is off! And I think he's blown his engine. Was that the engine going? Nope, no, his engine's still going, but I heard a crash.
I think he found the wall. Is what he's found out of Butchers in towards the chicane. I'm sure Hugo will be giving us a replay. Thank you very much, Hugo. Let's have a look, Peter. Oh, it's lap traffic there. Oh. He's got offline onto the grass. Nothing he could do there. He's a passenger. That's
so unlucky there for Austin Greatorex. Just, I mean, the Gilles Gardner, the traffic there was giving plenty room, but again, it was so couldn't afford to really give anything away, and it really caught him out as Cullen makes a mistake there as he's on his charge through the pack as well. What a pity for Austin Greatorex. Let's get another look at it then, so you can see Gilles Gardner up ahead in the Interscope Porsche 935 cars. Actually, Gilles Gardner makes a mistake. I do apologize, it just makes a tiny mistake lighting up in the gravel, and that caught Greatorex out. What a pity.
Oh, Mayer now. Mayer was further up your field. He's had the mistake here at Duffers Dip. Well, I mean, everything's happening in this feature race here, Peter. It's just carnage going on all the way through the field. We've got the 247, and that is Stephen Kershaw dropping down. He's a lap down here in this race, Stephen. So it is not having a day to, well, it's not quite a lap down, but he will be very shortly. He's not having a day to remember here in this feature race. But yeah, it's just one little mistake, and Austin Greatrix loses that position, and now Will Chadwick is waltzing away at the front, 8 seconds clear. Tom Slater, gotta say, really, really good. Apart from that little mistake at Clark Curve, as there goes a car just out of the way to try and just let traffic by. But Slater, apart from that mistake at Clark when he was leading the race early on, did a really good job in 3rd place.
A super job, yeah, really bouncing back from a very difficult heat and making the most of that good grid spot, you know. So, you know, you get sometimes you get the rub of the green, sometimes you don't. If you get that reverse grid pole position, you've got to make a use of it. That's exactly what Tom Slater's doing, and leading the AM class at the moment is Cullen, desperately trying to make his way through. Of course, our pole sitter, Heat 1 race winner by a country mile. It didn't quite work out his way, and he's trying to just make as many points as he can. Oh, as he swoops past Ollie Carbadine, I think makes a mistake of his own. And in this longer race, Paul, the drivers really, the attrition and the mistakes starting to creep in that little bit more. We can't stress enough, 25 minutes around here is such a long way. There's so many potential pitfalls you've got to get through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've lost 2 drivers of Andrew Silver and Andrew Shepherd from this race, so that's 2 down. But yeah, there's all sorts happening to Taylor's here. My goodness, they're going 2-3 wide through there. I said it's a wide chicane, is this one, but my goodness, I didn't think you could get 3 of these Porsche GT3 Cup cars alongside each other into Duffers. Wow, that's brave.
Very brave there from Stuart Clark in the Ross machine. It's another spin for Greatrix, another one. Oh, no, Bailey, because all their cars are so similarly painted. Oh, dear. Josh Bailey making a mistake there coming down Duffus.
Oh, his car's off in the background, just shot there on the exit of the chicane. Don't know who that is. Patching. I think Carl Hazelton is one of them.
Yeah, there's patching in the background just outside the Wally Brown Marshall Centre. Oh, dear. I tell you what, the sausage rolls in the back of the Wally Brown Marshall Centre are absolutely fantastic.
Oh, you've sold me on a trip to Knockhill now.
Oh, honestly, pastry sausage roll, they are absolutely amazing.
Well, there we go. If Peter says it's amazing, then I must try it. But yeah, up over the chicane. Right, what has happened? Let's have a look at... Oh, my goodness! That's... thank you very much. Good night. Yeah. How do you like your steak? Well done. By the looks of things there.
Oh, dear. Oh, that's David Patching is he's going to need a change of underpants after that one, because that would have caught him by surprise. Actually, just smack as Hazelton got big air as well. Ryan Penny off on the exit of the chicane. It was all very civilised in the heat, but it's gone to Paul in the final. It has to be said.
It's almost like everybody said that it's double points suddenly all of a sudden, and everybody's desperate to make up as many places as possible. It's absolutely crazy out there. I mean, it's hard to keep up here in the commentary box for us here to keep up with what's going on out there. Hopefully things do sort of settle down a little bit towards the end, although we do want to see some good close racing. Chris Byram, by the way, trying to make some moves after that incident at the Taylor's hairpin, and Byram as well sharp losing a place now, so there is movement in your mid-pack.
Yeah, good battle going on between Clark and Sharp there. There's Chris Byram on the kind of recovery drive. He was so unlucky getting clipped by Carl Hazelton there, and Byram side by side here with Amrik Sashdev, and they still managed to go side by side. Sashdev holding a really defensive line, but giving Byron the room as they go side by side through Butchers up to the chicane. Now someone's going to have to back out. Well, Amrik tries to tough it out and loses it. Oh, what a shame.
And that was right in front of your race leader as well, Will Chadwick, who's coming up to lap these two. So Chadwick getting a bit of fortune with Amric just heading off into the gravel there when he did. But Byram did the right thing then. Forced him offline, forced Amric offline, backed out of it before the chicane, and then just took advantage of his mistake.
Oof, yeah, this is... the chicane has certainly picked... it's taken a lot of victims in this feature race. So, further to the front, Rob Sharp in 9th position overall, but 3rd in the AM class. He's got Stuart Clark behind him there. Tom Slater, he'll be very pleased. He's 4th overall and top of the AM class. Now remember, your points are only given out based on your class position here as well. So the driver's trying to make as many positions in their class as possible. As Johnny Cullen goes up into 4th in class. And interestingly, although Greatorex, he'll be reeling that mistake, he is still in 2nd overall and 2nd in the pro class. And with the championship lead, with Chadwick a little bit down the order, that's just, although the actual time gap is big, Paul, it's not a big gap in points. He's not giving away many points to Chadwick here if he can get it to the flag like this.
Yeah, and that's key. You've got to play a bit of some damage limitation, haven't you, on days like today where, okay, you may be not going to get yourself a win here in this feature race, but still be able to get yourself some really good points. How many championships have we seen over the years where a driver has maybe perhaps only won one race in the whole season and yet ends up winning a championship with consistency? Now, Greatorex didn't have that consistency last time out on par, but this would be a good bounce back ability from him to get back up here into podium positions.
Certainly will. Certainly will. Chadwick's got 11-second lead, and Greatorex in turn has a 6-second lead from Christian Saruta in 3rd, so it's an all-pro class podium at the moment. Tom Slater, top of the shop in AM class in 4th. Good recovery drive from Johnny Cullen. It must be said he's had to come from a long way back. He's in 5th, and it's Johnny Elia and Hurricane Haley. 2nd in AM class, Ollie Carbadine. 10-second gap back to Rob Sharp, who's battling away with Stuart Clark on the fringes of the top 10. And poor old Chris Byram, he was looking like such a strong result. He's back in 11th overall and 5th in class.
Tyre spot then just into the hairpin. I think it was Byram himself just getting locked up. Thankfully, there is with it being so wide, you can sort of make up for that. Of course, I have seen the incredible footage of Ashley Sutton's accident that he had in the Formula Ford car back in 2014, I think it was. His throttle stuck open going into Taylor's, and he ended up landing on top of the barriers there, and that really dinged him up. Still ended up racing the next day because, well, racing drivers, if they can walk, they can race.
Yeah, very true, very true. How many times have we seen that? That's before you get that's 4-wheel. Imagine with 2 wheels. They're extra bunkers, aren't they? The things that they can endure. Now a little bit of potential trepidation for our race leader Bill Chadwick, because whoa, Ryan Penny lights it up and off into the crowd. Oh dear. Somehow gathers it back up again. That was a huge moment there for Ryan Penny in the 99 car. Oh my word, that would have caught his attention.
I think it will have caught his underpants as well, because my goodness, that was a moment and a half, keeping it out the wall, which is the crucial thing there for him. But yeah, that was a real heart in mouth moment for him, but it does drop him back a little bit in that one, and that does lose as a potential race battle. But yeah, that moments like that just really get you woken up. If you're not maybe fully focused, that soon brings you into focus.
Certainly will. I mean, coming back to our race leader, Will Chadwick, he will be coming into potential point of reputation, because he will be coming across a little bit more lap traffic. It's, Rob Sharp, Stuart Clark. In fact, just gone past Stuart Clark. There he goes. So it has actually spread out a little bit for him. It was much tighter a couple of laps ago. So Chadwick having to pick his way through traffic very carefully. Doesn't want to throw this victory away at the last moment. Just Ooh, it'll be very tight. I think we just got 3 laps to go from now.
Yeah, I do think Will. He's been doing 47.1 last lap. In fact, that's his best lap as well as the last lap. So it just goes to show there's pace in that car all the way to the end. And, you know, Johnny Cullen, you have to say, a little tip of the hat to him for him to be able to come through the field after getting sandwiched on lap number 1 down at McIntyre, but to be 4th place after that and to actually not be that far back from Zeruta, so it's a real performance from Cullen. We saw his pace in that opening heat race of the evening, but yeah, Chadwick should have 2 laps remaining here.
Yes, he will indeed, and fastest lap of the race, Johnny Cullen, 46.9. So that's Johnny Cullen will be really ruining what could have been. I mean, it was not a great deal he could do. He just got completely pancaked, and Chadwick managed to slip through. But that's racing can be like that sometimes. But it's been another super drive from Will Chadwick. Picked his way through patiently, swiftly, decisively, and he's on the way to yet another victory here in Porsche Club of Great Britain competition. And one more lap between him and that victory, and it'll really get his championship charge back on track. He has missed a couple of rounds, so that will, this will certainly get him right back where he needs to be. So the white flag is in the air, and just a quick look, another 1.2 miles, and it will be victory in hand.
Oh, well, don't give him the commentator's curse, but yeah, certainly Will's looked really confident. Apart from that one mistake in that heat race when he was in the lead that put him under pressure, he's really looked good around here. He's not had the out-and-out one-lap pace of Johnny Cullen, but he's making it count when it matters, and in this feature race, done a sterling job.
Certainly has. Through his laps for the final time and into Taylor Hairpin. Will Chadwick will see the checkered flag here at Knockhill for round 4 of the Porsche Club of Great Britain's Sim Racing Championship. It's a win for the number 88, Will Chadwick. So great drive there from Will Chadwick. Austin Greatorex will come home in 2nd position. With Christian Saruta now, we've got a battle here between Bailey and Patching, making their way to the flag. Rob Sharp in there too in the blue and yellow car.
Yeah, really good performance from the drivers there, and they put on a really good show here around Knockhill, and gave us some tremendous action, plenty of overtaking, plenty of thrills and spills as well. But Will Chadwick, great performance from him.
Yeah, fantastic. Let's look at the results then. Will Chadwick, your winner by 15.2 seconds from Austin Greatorex. Christian Saruta rounding out the podium. Johnny Cullen, a super recovery drive and fastest lap of the race, coming through to 4th place. Your AM class winner, the comeback kid, Tom Slater. What a drive from him from pole position. Johnny Elia finished in 6th with Stephen Haley in 7th. Then Ollie Carpadine 2nd in the AM class. Rob Sharp 3rd in AM class, and Stuart Clark 4th in class as well. Chris Byram, story of what could have been there for the Fresh Prince in 11th, followed by Paul Goffin, Steve Kershaw, Josh Bailey, and Amrik Sashdev rounds out your top 15. Then it was Ryan Penny, Ralph Meyer, Drew Fletcher, Shiel Gardner, and Heinz Meyer. A pretty dramatic exit to the race for Heinz Meyer early on, with Carl Hazelton, David Patching, Andrew Soper, and Andy Shepherd with evenings to forget in this final race. So, our race winner here in the final, Will Chadwick, is joining us now, and he is with Paul Smith.
Yeah, absolutely, Will. I mean, I was going to say it was a perfect week, but it wasn't quite, because you didn't get pole position in qualifying, but you had a pretty solid opening heat race. Just the one mistake out of Clark, but otherwise you seem to be coping with that heat race really well.
Yeah, it's always an interesting dynamic when you're talking to the person that's behind you in voice chat. He was willing me on to make a mistake, Christian Cerruto, but yeah, it was a good first heat. I was surprised by Johnny's pace in qualifying, and it showed that how well he was doing, because he had a lot of pace out there. But yeah, heat one, heat two, I made a few mistakes early on, but after that, settled in and just managed to take it home to get the points on the board ready for the reverse grid.
Yeah, and that's it with the reverse grid around here. I mean, me and Peter were saying it's not impossible to overtake around here, but it can be a bit difficult to make those moves. Obviously, we saw that there was a bit of shenanigans happen down at McIntyre, which unfortunately caught out Johnny Cullen and a few others, but you were able to make your way through there and had a tremendous drive through the field in the opening of the race.
Yeah, well, it's really sad what that happened to Johnny, because, you know, he was showing really, really good pace today, and I'm sure he would have been challenging me for that win really hard. Because he had me panicking after qualifying. I went out the session to practice race starts and stuff, ready for the feature race. But yeah, we always knew it was going to be a bit of carnage on the first lap because of the nature of how these cars drive around this track and how narrow it is. So, you know, someone's going to probably end up spinning. So it was just trying to keep my nose clean the best I can, and then just, luckily enough, coming out free and getting into 7th, I think, after the first lap, which made my job a little bit easier.
It certainly does. And then, of course, you know, fortune going your way once again with the mistake in front of Austin with the back marker, and Austin getting caught out onto the grass, giving you the lead. And then it was a case of just keeping the gap at the front, I suppose, really, and working your way through the traffic to the end.
Yeah, like at this track, it's really easy to make a mistake, and I feel really sorry for Austin, because he was forced to go around the outside of that back marker due to the mistake he made, and he just caught him out a bit catching the grass, but I still think he finished in 2nd, hopefully. But yeah, just always keeping alert, because the chicane is so hard to run at a high speed, like the optimal line, and keeping it on the track every lap. So that was just mainly just keeping my head down, keeping really focused, and making sure that I could finish off with a feature race win today.
And I'll just finish off with this. You must be happy with the results from today, given that you did miss out on Alton Park last time out. But looking forward then, Snetterton in a few weeks' time. A track that you don't like, are you looking forward to?
I like all the British circuits. I don't mind Snetterton. Gutted that I missed Alton last week, as we both agree that it is the best track in the world, full stop.
Apart from Knockhill.
Apart from Knockhill. But yeah, I was gutted that I missed out last round. It was at Alton. But yeah, looking forward to Snetterton. Excited for this championship to continue. You know, really enjoy driving with these guys, and it's very refreshing to drive something like this after the Spa 24 on the weekend.
Yeah, let's move away from that. But yeah, thank you very much, Will, for joining us in the commentary box, and all the best for the next time out at Snetterton.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for the commentary tonight. Thank you for the production, Hugo. Bye-bye.
So that was the race winner from the feature race, Will Chadwick, and now we'll get joined by Austin Greatorex, who did finish in 2nd place. And Austin, I mean, I think it's fair to say that Alton Park wasn't your day last time out. You didn't have the best of heat races, but that actually kind of worked out in your favour for starting this feature race further up.
Oh guys, yeah, so I didn't have the best of times at Alton, but that's now two races this season, Brands and obviously tonight in the feature race I've been taken out by a car that's being lapped.
Well, I mean, we'll get to that in a second, but you know, you did find yourself at the front after Tom Slater had his mistake up at the front, and then you had Will Chadwick closing up, but you were doing a really good job of defending from Will in the early stages of that fight. But yeah, you're absolutely right, just getting caught out by lap traffic making a mistake in front of you. I mean, was the car damaged after that incident, or was it just a case of you weren't able to quite keep up with Will's pace after that?
I don't think I'd have been able to keep up with Will anyway. He was quicker than me, and it's so hard to overtake. It's just positioning for defending the line. But then no, I did hit the barrier quite hard on the front left, and it put a bit of damage, and it just killed the front left tyre really quick.
But, you know, I'm a man of positives. it's still a podium, second place, some good points for you in the championship, and you can look forward then to Snetterton in a couple of weeks' time as well.
Yeah, it's a good point. So we're still doing well in the championship, so it's not too bad. Can't grumble too much. And, yeah, I look forward to racing Snetterton.
Absolutely, we'll look forward to seeing you here on RaceSpotTV. Thank you very much for joining us, and all the well done on the second place.
Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
So that was second place driver Austin Greatorex. Now we've got the podium finishing us off here. Christian Zaruta and Christian. I mean, just the 14 places gained in that feature race. It was an eventful feature race for you there.
Yeah, I was kicking myself after that little. I don't know what happened. I just came round the right-hander before the chicane and just had a massive tank slapper and caught it. And then tyres must have been a bit hot going through the chicane because it just completely lost the back end through the chicane. I just couldn't catch it. So I was kicking myself because I somehow threaded the needle on lap 1 through all the carnage and then threw it all the way on lap 2.
I mean, that's how racing goes sometimes, though, isn't it? But
Indeed.
Still you were able to gain all those positions, and fortunately you were far enough ahead to keep ahead of Johnny Cullen, who was lightning fast all round. But you must be happy to get yourself a podium, get yourself third place in the pro standings here in this feature race as well.
Yeah, after that, I'll still take it 100%. I didn't, considering it's a pretty tricky circuit to overtake at, I was having to make some fairly Larry ones through that. So, yeah, I'll definitely take a P3 after that lap 2 mistake.
And just final question for me: we are at the halfway point of the championship now. For you, how have you seen this championship from yourself or your point of view?
Well, I've had to miss a couple of rounds because I was off getting married. So I was away for a few weeks, so I missed a couple. So I only did Donington, but yeah, it's been good. Each season, this is I think the third one I've done now, and each season the standards just seems to get better and better, and the gaps are getting smaller and smaller throughout the field. So everyone's improving, which just makes it harder and harder when you're fighting through on the feature race. So it's certainly getting interesting now.
But that's why we enjoy it, isn't it? That we want that challenge, don't we? If it was
you don't want it easy.
Get bored of it.
You don't want it easy. Well, tell that to Will.
But still, congratulations, though. Podium finish here in the end, third place. Well done, Christian.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
So there we go, Peter. That was our podium sitters there at the end of those results, and some happy people.
Very, yes. Everyone in relatively good spirit, which is always what we like to see. And yeah, good to see Christian bouncing back after being away on wedding duties. Congratulations, Christian, as well. I wonder if the purple GT3 RS was used for wedding car duties. I hope so. I think the white ribbons would look quite good on that, I would reckon.
I mean, come on, get your priorities. Sim racing comes first, surely. But anyway, I'm sure his missus won't be saying that. But anyway, but still, no. It was tremendous result from Christian to come in and after having. It's difficult to get into a flow of a championship when you do miss a couple of rounds. I know that myself from competing in many sim racing championships. So when you stop start, you can't get in that flow of getting prepared for races and then competing in those races and then moving on to the next round. So no, it's good result to get third place, and yeah, a little mistake from him in race the feature race, but you learn from those mistakes, and Knockhill is a place that does not forgive you.
No, we saw that tonight, didn't we? And like you say, if you're out of rhythm at all in this Porsche 992 Cup car, it's going to bite you. And it's going to bite you, especially around here. I think that's why it's so satisfying when you get laps right in Knockhill. It's just fantastic. But it bites you when you get it wrong, and we saw that tonight. Well, Paul, it's been fantastic to have you along for the ride here with the Porsche Club of Great Britain. A pleasure as always. Next round is in 2 weeks' time, August the 10th. We head to Snetterton and the 300 circuit layout there, and that'll be live here on RaceSpotTV at 7:45 British summertime. Do not miss it. On behalf of myself, Peter Mackay, and my broadcast partner, Paul Smith, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time here on RaceSpotTV.